as you probably know, I'm new to radio. I've been in television and print and digital. This is my first experience with radio other than as an avid listener of NPR for a long, long time. But what has really struck me like a thunderbolt since I've been part of NPR is that of all of the various kinds of legacy media, print, television, radio is the most compatible and the most complementary to the web because it's not a replacement one for the other. You know, in newspapers you can read text online, you can read it in print, television the same thing, but the experience of listening to radio, which people usually do either when they're driving or when they're doing other things, you can't be listening to radio while you're on the web. So they work really nicely hand in hand, which is why I'm very optimistic about the staying power of radio more than probably any of the other forms of legacy media. But it also means that we have fantastic opportunities with digital. First of all, our intention, I mean, right now we pretty much, when it comes to really intelligent news and information, we pretty much own audio across all platforms. Our podcasts are consistently the most downloaded. Our streams, our live streams that we have on the website, on the station websites, are doing very well. And we need to make sure whatever new platforms come out that we're there in a very strong way in audio. But that is necessary but not sufficient. We also need to make sure that we are delivering to our audience, to our listeners and would-be online users, the NPR experience across many platforms. So that while that includes audio, it also means that they should be able to consume us in print, on their iPhone, in videos, in audio snippets maybe integrated with print and multimedia, what have you. So those are the ways that we think we need to expand in order to retain and also grow our audience. There has been, quite candidly, some tension between NPR and some of the member stations over the issue of digital. And the feeling of many of the stations is that by sending their local listeners to npr.org, that they will be bypassing the need of the station and the station websites. And that's the word that's often used as bypass. And I certainly understand and empathize with that position, which is why I really want to begin to change the model entirely. There is no reason why NPR should be in competition with local public radio stations. I mean, the fact is, when people say they love NPR, what they really mean is they love the experience of listening to NPR programming or other programming that's not NPR. They call everything NPR, listening to it in their local station. And that's a good thing. It's a wonderful relationship, and there's a symbiosis between the local stations and their roots in the community and what we do here in Washington and around the world at NPR with our domestic and international news gathering. And it should be the same with digital. I think that our position here at NPR would be to help enable a nationwide network small n, not an O&O model where it's controlled centrally, but a network of local websites that have ties into the community but also offer a very satisfying national and international news gathering experience. So you have the full spectrum of local, national, international, in audio, in text, that you have aggregation services, that you have cultural listings. And so what we're beginning to set forth on is to create a model with the stations whereby we can help them with deals, with software, with technology, with audience research, with aggregating our total audience, which across the system is significant and puts us in among the handful of strong news and information players, and that's the route we're going to go. I want the whole concept of bypass to go away. We will do some video, but I should tell you that video is not a big part of our strategic future. Generally speaking, I'm a little bit bearish on news and information video on the web. Certainly video is taken off online in a significant way when it comes to entertainment. Hulu, of course, is just an amazing success story. Repurposed video from television, cable news networks, and broadcast is doing very well. But it's the return on the investment, to put it in blunt, cold terms, for a non-video organization to ramp up and do the kind of video to compete with sort of the commodity video news providers doesn't really make sense. So for us, we will do some as companion or as different ways to get at angles of a story, that very special stories for us. We're particularly proud of our video efforts in music. Music is a big area for us, but you will not see us become a gigantic video provider anytime in the near future.